How's it going, everybody? Joey64 here with another part of Super Kirby Star Part 9. Kirby Superstar. One day I'll get that title right. I feel like every part I said like Super Kirby Star, or I said Star Ultra, or Super Mario. I may as well call Super Mario Bros. Honestly. Yeah. Anyhow, we are here with Part 9. We're getting close to the finale. Just got 2 more parts after this. So, yeah, we'll continue in Milky Way Highway. Not Highway. Oh god, I'm just getting all the names wrong today. Milky Way Wishes up in Sky High. Oh, I don't know if any of y'all have seen this movie before, but there's a movie called Sky High. And it was on the Disney Channel. And it was like one of those like cheesy like teen like comedy slash romance movies. But it was like a high school for superheroes. That sounds a lot worse when I say it out loud than when I was actually thinking about it, but I used to love that movie. They played it a lot. It was one of those movies that Disney played a lot. I remember liking it. I haven't watched a Disney Channel original movie in a long time. I don't know if they're any good still. I don't know if they were good back then. But, there's some memories there. Anyhow, though, the big mechanic of this level is kind of like we had last time from Aquarius, where we had the different pathways, had to go through the white doors. It's the same concept for this one, basically. You just gotta go through the white doors until you eventually get to the end. That's basically it, and then you go against the boss. It doesn't really give you too much to really talk about. That is one thing about Milky Way Wishes that I've noticed, especially while we recording this. Just watching it, is some parts of it are kind of very repeaty. There's a lot of parts that are kind of like, they remind me of earlier parts of the game, which I guess that kind of makes it feel all very like bookend. It gives it that very finalized feeling, like this is it. So it gets a lot of elements from the previous levels that you've done throughout the game. Like later on the end of this, we'll see Kracko, and then we're gonna have a boss rush in one of the later levels. We go through up all the mini bosses, and of course you have all the power ups you can get and such. Something I was actually thinking, speaking about the power ups. I was thinking about, you know, what if other games did this idea? And I was thinking, well, Mario, okay, like if you get Mario and have it where he can get like fire flower, ice flower, whatever at any time. But then it hit me, literally, whenever Mario gets hit, he gets immediately, there would be no difficulty. Not that Mario games have much difficulty to begin with, but still, it would just be completely easy, because he's constantly throwing power-ups non-stop. And I was like, really want to work with Mario. Zelda kind of has it where you can like pull out the hook shot or the boots or whatever at any time. Let's see, the Zelda, Mario, Star Fox couldn't really work with it. Splatoon, yeah, that's really. I can see Sonic. Sonic could work with it. Like the Wisp, have the Wisp where you can do them anytime. Here's Kracko. We've already done this boss twice, so I just sped it up. I kind of like the song when it's faster. Nice. Anyhow, but yeah, I can see Sonic actually doing the whole what this game mode does, where you have favorite cookie birds or whatever. So have like the Wisp, different Wisp, like the Cube Wisp, Laser, etc. Further, they'll probably have to change what some of the Wisps do, but just make it so it's more like how this. I guess it's kind of like Sonic Heroes when you think about it. Because Sonic Heroes has where, you know, you have like Sonic's moveset, and then you can switch to, like Tails or Knuckles moveset at any time. Kind of like that. That's the best way I can see Sonic doing again. I would like to see them try doing the Sonic Heroes 2. What is this? A sequel to that gameplay style game. Because I feel like it could really work. There just needs a bit of editing with how it worked. Anyhow, though, we're now on the next level, Hot Beat. Hot Heat? Is that Hot Beat or Hot Heat? I actually can't tell. Because when I'm watching these videos, I don't actually have it in full screen. It's in like a small little preview screen that's like not even a quarter of the size of my screen that I'm watching it from. So it's actually kind of hard to read some of the smaller details. I can't tell if that says Hot Heat or Hot Beat on the bottom right. But this level, basically, it's just being very, you gotta go through these narrow volcanic areas. That actually kind of reminds me of what you see with a lot of those Mario Maker levels that people put up, where it's like the spike balls all over the place. And you gotta do that very precise jumping and all that. there was one, it had like those blue fallen platforms, and it had spikes everywhere. And I think it was like a 0 point something completer weight. And it was the first level. I actually was like, you know what? I'm gonna beat it, and I did. I don't know what it was. There was like 1,000 of those, but it was fun. I like those because we gotta have those fast-paced reactions. I don't know. There's a lot of That's one thing I do kind of like about platformers in general. There's a lot of variety, but there's also similarities. A lot of similarities. I actually did have some trouble with this stage. I didn't care for it too much. I didn't like how narrow it was. I felt like this was one of the harder levels, personally. Yeah, again, I don't know. I could just be bad at Kirby. I don't know. I think it's kind of like right there, like it's very narrow. Like this is the part. This part's very narrow. And then you got the pink Scarfies. I don't know why they're pink. It's kind of weird. But you got the Scarfies. You got your Gordos. It's very rough. I don't know. It's like it wouldn't be a problem for me, but just throughout this entire game so far, it's been pretty easy. You know, it's had some challenge, but for the most part, it's been pretty easy. And I feel like Hot Heat, this is kind of a different change. Also, something I want to actually correct myself from last part. I called all these places planets, so actually stars. Because, you know, it's like, even though it's like Kirby lives on planet Popstar. That's a planet, I guess, because planet Popstar. Well, these are all stars. Which, I don't know. I guess they kind of continue that in Kirby 64. Where it's like, there's Shiver Moon Star, I believe, and they're all like, it's like some blank star. It was like, I don't want to say one of them is Geo Star, and so on. But I don't know, it's kind of weird. I do like I don't think I've talked about this yet, but the cannons, the little arrow cannons at the time, it's a fun challenge. Reminds me of the Donkey Kong Country games. I haven't really played a lot of Donkey Kong Country. I have the original on the SNES, and I want to get the Returns games that Retro Studios made, but I've never taken the time to do that. Play those yet. Anyhow, we got a new boss fight. Really one of the only new boss fights in this entire game mode. This little chameleon dude. I like this dude. He's actually a fairly unique boss fight. And I feel like he gets a good mix of challenging, but while at the same time also keeping that good like Kirby like easiness charm to it all. And you can still see. You can see where the pixels are kind of distorted. That's him being invisible. But he'll show these. He'll spin dash around. He'll move his tail and his tongue around. He'll show these little paintballs. And if you eat them, you get paint. And the cool thing about the paint is they'll actually make it so he can't go invisible for a while. And you actually see him, which is cool. I like it. And I kind of like that. So you know, if you want to see if you can copy his attack or not, you know, you get to do that. It also does a lot of damage. But if you just spit it back at him, you kind of, you know, makes it harder. It's a bit of like, adds a bit of a puzzle element to it where you have to kind of figure it out, which I like. It's a solid boss though. I really do like this boss. I would like to see them bring this back, honestly. I feel like it was a really good boss fight, honestly. And then paint. Of course, again, with this little copy ability icon, so just amazing. Something, actually, this reminds me of something Kirby Star Allies does a lot better with their helper system is, you know, like here we got like abilities like paint that are like one shot you use it once it's gone. And you can have a helper with there can be a helper with the paint ability, but like here with Chef Kiyosaki, he's the cook ability, and that's a one-shot ability. But I know in Star Allies they made a whole moveset just for cook, but it's only for the helper. And Kirby doesn't have it. He does this like special cook attack that he does. That's like the big like screen nuke. But in this game, it's just you can't do that, which is something I like to give. It's something cool I really liked about Star Allies. It's cool to see that. Anyhow, this is the boss rush. You get a good amount of abilities here, which is nice. So you know, if you haven't gotten too many so far, you get a couple. But for the most part, this levels is a gauntlet of enemies and bosses, all stuff we've seen before. So again, sped it up just because there's no point of us sitting here watching all of it. That's another enemy. That enemy we just saw. That's another one you don't really have as a helper. And they're Bugsy. They're Bugsy's grab. And to a Bugsy, they actually have a lot of stuff for Bugsy, oddly enough. Oh, there's Bugsy himself. Speak of the devil. But yeah, this level isn't really a lot. Now I hear this is a big enemy gauntlet. There's a lot of health and 1-ups in this area. Because this is the last mate. I think there's this planet, then there's the next part will have the last planet before the final area. And that's basically it. Yeah. This game doesn't have too much, especially where you have the beautiful power of editing to get through these parts I don't want to add into the rest of the game. Anyhow, we got this good old boss again. Little dude from the end of the Great Cave Offensive, which we all know I love oh so much. You know, Great Cave Offensive, I want to take the time to talk about Great Cave Offensive here one more time. Real quick, I do like the concept of it. I feel like it's poorly executed. But I want to talk about the Great Cave Offensive stage in Smash Brothers. So I feel like it gets a really bad rap. And it's not the best stage. It's not the best Kirby stage. It's definitely not the best stage in the game. But I feel like it's a fun stage. Just like, if you have 8 players, it's perfect for that. I've always found a lot of enjoyment in that stage. If you're not playing like seriously, it's really fun personally. For me, I think it is. Anyhow, that's going to do it for today's episode. Hope you all enjoyed, and you have a wonderful rest of your day.